now with some little manipulatives or everything is put in.
Can we, like, Bob and I may be doing a project with the kids, can we store boxes, little boxes in them?
Yeah, I was in the room. And once I get the key, you can always come in. So let's kind of talk about some different things that we talked about in the SILT meeting last time. I know this is what Andy does, but he's not here, so we're just gonna push it through. Faculty meeting is Wednesday. We're gonna talk about ACPs and the climate survey. March STAR testing. 6th grade will be doing a mock STAR. So my 7th and 8th grade is testing on that Tuesday, while 7th grade is doing writing and 8th grade is doing reading. 6th grade we're doing a mock reading and a mock math test. I will get the mock math test for, it's March 29th, I think.
March 29th?
Yes, because 6th grade will probably be testing. And so that means probably 8th or 7th grade will be in the 6th grade classroom. So that's probably what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a big switch that day. So we decided as a group, as a team to say, we're gonna do mock testing on the 6th, for 6th grade. So that's all in the key action one for improving quality instruction. We're gonna come back to the problem solving model, which is our key focus for today. Key action 2, improving student achievement. We're gonna do student assessments, 6 week common assessments. I will get that to you by the end of the week for each grade level. I know this is our 3rd week. Key action number 3, improving the culture and climate of the campus. IB meetings will be once a month with the whole department and twice a month with your grade level PLC. I'm not too sure what that calendar is gonna look like. I know Mr. Bryan's gonna get that. And then we have ways that we can use money for the classroom academic rigor and critical thinking. IB has a plethora of money, so we're trying to get that. And when Andy comes back, we'll kind of talk as a team to decide what can we use some money for if we need some of that IB money.
The IB meetings, are those gonna be during our 7th period?
Yes,
Or-
during your 7th period. So this is he said, the department is one, and then your grade level is one.
Are these gonna be all on Mondays?
Yeah, no, these would be different. Okay, I don't know that calendar. Yeah, our Mondays is always our Mondays. There won't be any Mondays because this is something that we. Okay. So now the next part, the big portion is problem solving model. I know Friday we had the meeting with Mr. Alafan about some different things that we need to implement in class. One being using more application problems. One thing we have noticed is we need some kind of uniform format. So that's what our goal is today, is to find a uniform format that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade is going to use when they're solving application problems. So let's just kind of throw some things out there. What do y'all use to help your students understand word problems? Keywords, underlining, anything else?
When I give them the word problem, I give it to them like part by part. Like, then on the bottom, let's say a word problem that has, say, 10 sentences or 5 sentences. Yeah, I kind of break it down and they answer part by part. And on the bottom, I write everything together, something like that.
Do you break it down for them, or do you scaffold them into breaking it down?
Oh, I break it down the problem. Break down the problem.
Okay. So you just break down the problem, not the actual, so you kind of work through the word problem
But
with
this
them
is during the instruction.
during the instruction. Anybody else have anything?
Kind of the same thing with Florie was talking about. How I would term it is I'm giving them incremental steps. So I'm trying to pull what to do from them, but usually I end up having to work it because they never know what I'm trying to get them to do.
Okay, so now I'm hearing a lot, we're giving them some different strategies. When we look at our process standards, 1C, we have to use a problem solving model. Not us, but the students. So what are we doing with the students to make sure they understand it? What are the students doing? Like we hear a lot of, well, we do the break it down, but what are the students doing? And that's what we want to get at. we're gonna find a strategy that we're gonna give to the students that they can always implement. So on your desk, you have like some problem solving models, some various ones I just found. So what we're gonna do is, what I want you to do in your groups, you're gonna talk about what's good about some of these, and then what can you take back, what are some necessary things that we need in the problem solving model to help our kids. And you can be from these models right here, you can think of some things that's not in these models, and then we're gonna come back together and we're gonna make a problem solving model that we're gonna use. Take about 5 minutes to kind of discuss all these.
Those are actually yes or no questions. Because every one of them, every one of them. Do you understand?
There's so
No.
much garbage in this.
Can you see the problem? No. Did you write down? No. Did you rewrite a paraphrase? I mean, these are not open-ended questions.
But remember, we're just trying to figure out what can we use to make one for us. Everything is not gonna always fit.
Question, how would you solve it? I did do that a lot.
That's a good idea. Post it.
So, yeah, it's do what? You get the handle, so we're gonna do a poster, whichever one we'll make, we're gonna go with that.
There's another one that's the
I'm
blank,
thinking
just
that
a
we're
blank
gonna
that
create one.
They're on work.
I like, maybe that's part of it. In your own words,
So just seeing similarities.
is the problem saying?
But
I
this
like
is what
this
we're,
without
this is
her
what
name.
we're using.
Is that what you've been doing? Yes.
So you get this?
Never.
So there's-
Oh, I know, but we don't have to use this. We're creating our own. We're creating one today.
Well, we can borrow this.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
can use everything at the
You
same
like
time.
that?
You
You understand
use
the problem?
whatever applies to
Okay.
your
Yeah.
Subtracting from.
I always do this, write down the important information. Should I say write it down mathematics?
So when they say see the problem,
We're probably.
Because I always ask them to write it just numbers
They're
and
not
numbers
gonna
and
do
numbers
it.
and letters.
well, if they're not talking literally
Better
see,
than
right,
just
they're talking
doing-
Mathematics.
see as in
is what I say.
understand.
Write it down mathematics.
This is understand, can you see a solution?
Do you think they can do both, like to start
Yeah,
off?
if
like,
you see a solution, I would like that
do it
better.
individually and then mathematically, you just want to create mathematically? I mean,
So,
how do you feel it's gonna best benefit?
Because that is redundant, if you leave it like that, yeah.
There's one thing here that I feel should be here, that I needed to add, because it's not here, and I think it's very important.
And that one's hard for math,
Here, what it
because
says,
I mean,
did
in your own words, there
rewrite
really
or
aren't any
paraphrase
different
the
words
question?
pretty
Well-
much that you're gonna be able to use, but
What I usually do.
Well, like I was
is
doing
that-
algebraic expression, I
What
did
is
three
the
different
yes,
questions, saying
yes,
six,
what is
seven,
being asked,
What is being
actually,
asked.
yes.
multiply by
Yeah.
that. So they
Because they can rewrite and paraphrase.
so what are the
Yeah.
math words?
Yeah.
Can I just write that down? What is being asked?
Phrase it
So
that
how-
way?
No, it's up to you.
So when you ask, say how
Or what's the
what's
math
being asked,
concept for the word?
how do they show you that? Think about that, how do they show you? Not just verbal, but how do they show you?
I agree, because they have to understand what the question
What
is.
is, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, if they don't
And
know.
then I tell them, is it answerable
When I ask, I tell them,
in
okay,
dollars or in
so
feet?
The
You know,
unit.
that is the unit.
They rarely,
The
they
unit
sometimes
thing.
they almost
If
always.
they say it's a unit, that's the variable.
Look at the question.
Whatever's being asked is a
That's
variable.
why
Ask what's the question next
Well,
one?
actually, they can,
These
because
keywords,
like if
what
it
do you do with
says,
those
you know,
numbers?
you're buying this
So what are those
and
keywords telling you to
that.
do with the numbers? Does
I
it
want
match
you
with
to
the
tell
questions?
them
Add it in the blank,
So
what
you-
you're talking about.
So what you're saying is, you
It's
basically use it
jumping
without
How do you
using.
say you buy this
Based
or
on
that?
the-
Well, yeah, that's what I did.
And then today I was with my pre-AP classes, I gave them
That's online. I
an
have a,
expression of
Some
work
have
on
a-
a e-copy of
the
this. I
scenario.
have to
Some
find
of
it.
the SU.
And they were, I just
Because
gave
there are
it to
two
them,
kinds.
try working it out.
So how does that help?
What,
I think it helps.
the,
It makes
The
them
one
think,
I
that
like
first,
that,
the black
but
one.
not.
makes them look at it
I'm not
and
sure
think about it before I ever say a word
your
about it.
poster is
How do you
like
know
this.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Because when I'm walking around, they're
I'm
either
not
getting
sure
it or
that
not,
picture
just I can see that they're getting it.
Now,
But the
if
questions
you
I
had a
ask,
blank one,
I can see the light
you could
bulb.
Are they
laminate it
utilizing
I
the
laminate
trend?
and write on
Usable,
it,
but
and if
we
you
just
wanted
gotta
to
be
change
stuck
it,
on
More or
change
less,
that,
yeah.
right?
It goes
No,
over
it's
the
really
These
good.
kids, yeah, they are.
Right on it.
So you should
Some
write
of
on
these
it
kids
and
are smart,
laminate
they're
it.
safer, so they're really other strategies. They're struggling. They really are
If I
struggling.
can find it. But I
So
need to-
how do you
They're
think
resisting.
they'll, how do you think they'll do if
But it's
they're
really
following your
nice to apply.
strategies consistently?
Yep, I do that too.
It's in
Because if they don't know how to find it,
That's
how
enough to
can you find it?
But how can they use it?
They'll get used to doing it.
Oh, okay, I actually
If
do
they do
have,
the
and
process,
I actually,
they'll start
this is
doing
actually
sixth
more
grade,
important
next
than
year
can
they'll
you
do
say the
seventh
problem
grade,
in
eighth
the
grade.
Like, what are the
School-wide
important
deal.
things?
To me,
They're
that's
doing
not
the same
even.
thing.
Okay.
I would
You
rather
reinforce it here.
underline the question. What's being.
Maybe that's
Probably,
what
yeah.
I mean by that.
Eventually, at first they're going,
What is, probably what is being asked, underline question.
And sometimes,
Right,
they don't want important information. Sometimes they don't want it.
right, or,
A&T and course.
oh, that's my
It's very
abbreviation.
abbreviation.
It's hard to write this in first.
Yeah.
But it's also streamlined.
And I included right, I let mine, if they want to draw a picture instead of write the important stuff down.
That's in a different section, it's like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you
Unrelated.
can modify how we want to do it
That's,
for a
that's
group.
what we're
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Unregulated.
So
or
thinking some
unnecessary.
strategies that we can look at.
This forces them over the.
We able to see some similarities between
I
some of them.
did this in my,
I would stop
in
it
my
there.
equation problem.
We did two, that's too
The
many.
right
Okay,
problem,
plan.
then here is the,
Okay, plan,
the table, the
Yeah.
graph,
Yes.
and the
Equation.
equation.
Does that really make sense?
We have
Yeah.
passed off and that's not
I agree.
necessary information too.
Maybe we'll be able to look at
and
some of
also,
the
is there
other
multiple
ones to see
steps?
any similarities.
That's,
So really just.
See the problem two, maybe three times, highlight, underline, important information. Talk about the problem.
I'm not even sure that's-
Understand it better.
that's important for them to understand, that's part of the planning. I would just say,
The thing is, during star, you can talk.
Take about
What's
2
the-
more
what's
minutes
the
to look at it
strategy?
and discuss
Why
some
would
more.
you just say what strategy?
yeah, what strategy would you
You can
use?
only talk during ACP.
Not choose, you can choose, you're gonna have stuff to choose from.
The student.
What strategy you're gonna be using? Now, I kinda like these because I like making pictures.
Mr. Florie. Oh. This is online, right? It's on the website.
Some of them, yes. Some of
No,
them,
this one.
I'm not sure if it's still there. No, I'm being honest, I'm not sure if it's still there.
Isn't actually exactly the same, 3 plus 2 equals 5.
And that's where he thought that they were supposed to look exactly like them.
Good, that's an exception, not sure.
That's it.
My own page,
Most of the
I gave it
things.
to us.
Yeah,
less than a number.
And then.
but I don't,
Stuff is on the whole.
So,
yeah,
they're going for, but it's for,
I don't, I don't know if they want us to be using a lot of multiple choice, but I want my kids to be using learning instead of just choosing.
So this looks similar
I'm
to
trying to
the
get them to use logic.
Here, it
There is
doesn't show you the
I was
strategy.
wondering why they're doing that today.
Does it show the strategy?
This is the
It's kind of similar, a little
But I mean,
bit.
this is why,
This is the strategy.
No, this one.
It's all about hierarchy.
Yeah.
It's just that here.
More of that.
I guess.
Most successful gets more of that.
Teach anyway.
Well, I understand what
I
they are doing is guessing
a
check.
citywide way
That
of
would be more
I get that.
effective than the other ones.
Once they get used to doing it,
I
they'll
would
get
think
better,
the
better
trick
at
would
it.
be to
The
get
more you
them
do something, the better
to
you
go
are.
from where they're
However,
at to where we
and
want
that
them to
stifle
be.
creativity.
Understand the problem.
We're giving them the tool to use a problem solving model, because that's what,
Well,
the process that students must use a problem solving model. That's part of the process. So we're giving them a tool to utilize, that we can see what their thinking process is. So right now, we're giving them.
So guess and check, when the
So
check.
that's
part of
what,
it, is
this is
that-
gonna help,
Seriously, I
and
need to
this
figure out
is
a way
gonna
to
help
do that.
hold the
Methods,
kids
and
Give an
accountable.
answer and
Yeah.
looking into the questions.
Are you really
Okay,
committed
I'd be happy
to this
if they could
application
do that,
process?
but they haven't.
I'm
Are
tired
you
of
really
giving
understanding what's
out. I'm
there?
gonna start giving back.
And by looking at the parts in the process, you can see,
That's,
Can I
and that's part of the
oh,
decision.
they're understanding
I'm
this
trying.
piece.
What question?
Oh, they just having
Does this
trouble
make
with
sense? Is this the right
working
answer?
accommodation, understand how to set it up.
And that way we can
You
see
know,
where
that's-
they're failing, where they're struggling.
Usually when they
Rather
ask
than
me
putting
that,
up with something they understand, we can go with where they're not.
A chart?
if they're having doubts,
You know, it could be just the comprehension, or it could be the math, you never know which part
What
is.
is
Right.
Because it's a comprehension problem,
Plug it in and
coupled
see
with
if
some
it
math
will work.
skills, so you need to
They
figure out
just
which
We're
part.
drawing a picture.
They want you to
That makes
see.
sense.
Oh, there's the other thing too.
So I'm trying,
I asked
trying,
It makes
them
perfect sense. We did going through the whole problem over and over again.
Right.
So you focus on that one piece if you're not.
And
you know,
now, a little bit now I was because we were doing some of the English.
That's
And I'm
what,
one.
even if it was what happened, we always do a diagram, always do it.
If they don't understand.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, ELLs will have that problem for sure. Well, this, I thought that a way of doing it though will help with ELLs.
I can do that wish to have this.
Must haves.
All right, so we're gonna kind of bring it back real quick.
Can I write on this?
All right, so let's kind of discuss, what did y'all see about some of these problem solving models that, these, like I said, these are some samples I just found. So what did y'all see as a common theme in some of these?
Understanding the problem.
Understanding the problem,
The strategy for working the problem.
strategies,
Check your answer.
checking your answer.
It makes sense.
Does it make sense?
Reasonable.
Reasonableness,
making a visual.
visual connections. So all of those visuals, making sense, understanding the problem, all those are part of how to get the kids to problem solve. It's part of the problem solving model. So now what I've seen some of y'all do, y'all discuss some of the models. So okay, I like this, but I need to add this, or I don't like this, let's change this up. And this is the process we're gonna make one problem solving model. Kathleen was discussing about are we taking away their creativity? Somewhat, but not really, because we come back to our process standards. This is something that the students must be able to do. Use a problem solving model. So we're giving them a strategy, more like what we did in November, the teacher behavior, student behavior for process standards. This is a teacher behavior. We're giving them a strategy or a tool, and their expectation is, the student behaviors is using that tool for application problems. And it has to be that consistent message across the board from 6th, 7th, 8th grade, all classrooms, all teachers. This is what we're gonna do. And that expectation is, if y'all sitting there making sure that the students are following the problem solving model, that lets you know if they really understand the problem. And so what's giving them how to break it down. That's part of the process, but we need to make sure that the kids understand what to do and how to solve. So what's some must-haves that y'all seen, that y'all discussed, some things that y'all say, if whatever problem solving model we do, we're gonna have this on it.
Know what's being asked.
So know what's being asked. So
Know
somewhere,
what the question is.
so somewhere down the problem solving model, they're gonna have what the question is.
And the students say the problem in their own words.
What else?
So the OWN.
One. So that's a strike.
No,
Oh, W-N, onwards.
You've got onwards.
Onwards and furthermore.
Sorry. I know that y'all table has some stuff that y'all working on already.
For my list?
We've got see a solution. Do you see a solution?
So see a solution.
There should be some steps in the model.
So showing some steps. a
We should
process.
show we should give them the steps of the problem model, right? First
Okay.
you do this, or you circle your numbers, then you underline, and you do this.
Right. So steps for, the process for students to follow.
Yeah. That's what I like. The recipe has steps to it.
So when, what are the things this problem solving model must have embedded in there? The kids must be able to do.
They need to understand what numbers are important parts, keywords and numbers,
Okay.
keywords.
Well, does this apply to word problems?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of y'all talking about the steps and the beginning parts. What about during this, the work and the problem? What are the parts that they need to show on the problem solving model, y'all think?
I think maybe part of steps could be either making a picture or a diagram.
Okay.
That would be kind of part of the step.
So how does strategies?
Or getting to,
So they should show you their strategies on the problem solving model. What's our big picture? We want them to know
The answer.
the answer. So
solve
Is it
check.
reasonable?
solving the problem.
Everyone good today?
Yeah. I yelled at my kids about the water. My sixth period class, pulled out a drink.
Reasonableness.
I said, on Friday, I said, you spilled something all over the floor. I said, and I had to get yelled at by Mr. Bruce. You made a mess. I said, no water.
All right. So those are just some things that we must have. So there's some things. So now, I see some of y'all were kind of taking some of the models and trying to revamp it or say, okay, I do this, I do that. What's best for us as a group? What's best? So just put out some steps and say, this is a model, and just make a chart from there. Step one is this part. Should we make like a Freire model or something like the C plan to reflect what's best for y'all, for us? So that's the discussion I want to have. What's best for us to use? What type of format? And we can input the must-haves then.
Yeah.
Explain it, say it, tell. What that is, other. Tell everybody.
We like this one, what do you call this?
It's problem solving model.
Also, why do you,
Although for the kids, reflect,
it's too much?
I just don't think the kids are gonna, they don't know what the word reflect means. I
Sure.
think explain it
Okay,
is more what the kids will understand. Plan, I'm thinking if we say think it, I mean plan and think it, I kind of like the words they're using here better. Read it, think it, solve it, explain it.
so you like the words better with that?
Yeah, I like this better, and I also like the fact, I mean, this is the one we went by too, but I like the fact that there are less points. This one's got too much.
Okay, so almost like a fusion between the two, that's what you said.
Yeah.
What do y'all say right here?
I like the one I do. No, do the cups one.
Because it's too much to read.
It's not a vote, it's right here.
So it's actually a check back.
So explain the CUPS model.
This is real simple to me, because I just have the kids circle the numbers. Don't even read the problem, just circle the numbers first. Underline keywords. Now read it. And then bracket the question. Okay, so look at the question and look at the keywords, and what are you going to be doing with those numbers? Which operation are you going to use, adding, subtraction? How are you going to solve the problem? With what? Answering the question. Simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
I like the way
And it
it's put in the
eliminates all-
strategy, I like that.
And it eliminates all the unnecessary BS in that question.
So working a strategy. So is there where we can infuse
Yeah.
some of that into what y'all like? Is there where we can infuse it to make it our own? Because I see that some of this pieces don't do the underlining and the circling. Could we infuse that piece into making it our own?
And I like that especially because our population is having trouble reading a
Mhm.
paragraph and understanding a paragraph.
Especially when you see a big
So if
long
we
paragraph,
just
we're gonna-
focus, and fortunately now,
Mhm.
each, per, for,
Mhm.
there are a lot of key words that if we can just highlight those key words, underline, they don't actually have to read the whole paragraph and understand the whole
It might
paragraph.
help them, it does help them,
Okay.
especially in language learners, I mean, that's.
Yeah, I like that.
So if I'm hearing correctly, we're in agreement that we want to do a four-step process, but we want to modify it to benefit us. Okay?
Okay.
Mr. Florie, there's one more, I don't know if it's also necessary.
Yeah.
The part of reflect, like to check back.
Or to check your answers.
Oh, yeah.
Check your answer.
Well, I think that needs to fit under reasonable, what did you put,
Yeah.
reasonableness of solution? Is that what you
Yes.
got?
So almost
Yeah.
these two go together.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because it's like, today, I was doing percentage of, $29.95, 40% of that. One of my students said $118.
What's wrong
Yeah.
with that?
And I was like, is that even possible?
Let's make it
The decimal wasn't in the right place.
That's the toughest thing for our students is to figure out whether or not it is reasonable.
Right.
Does that even make
So
sense?
let's just kind of push this along. So the first step, what are we saying, what is the best terminology used for the first step?
Understand the problem.
So understanding the problem. Or what's some short, I think y'all said, is that?
This one says read it, there's read it or see,
Which one do y'all feel?
understand.
Understand?
Understanding the problem, so understand. And this is, remember, this is something that we all gonna use.
They're not gonna understand it right off the bat, though. They have to do all that the steps to understand it.
And that's gonna be the parts in here.
Okay,
That's gonna be our, what does this part mean? What
okay.
does understanding mean? That's what y'all gonna say, okay, this means to
You
do
can do
this.
anything else unless you understand the problem. There's no step two.
All right, so what is the parts to understanding the problem that these students must have in that piece?
Keywords.
So what about the keywords?
Underline the keywords.
Underline the keywords.
Do they know what the keywords are?
That's what we gotta teach them. The
So let's say key
key
vocabulary,
math words.
key mathematical vocabulary.
Mhm.
What else are we gonna do?
Okay, is this for the kids or is this for us?
It's gonna be for the kids. That's let them know that, hey,
For the kids.
this
Okay,
is what they
if
need.
it's for the kids, then I think you need to put underlining key math words.
Okay, that'll work.
They're not gonna read mathematical, they're gonna get stumped on it, they're gonna get stumped on vocabulary.
This is for us. This is what we need to do to make sure I help our kids out. What else do we need to do on that part?
Circle numbers.
Yeah, I like that.
Nobody's being asked.
Bracket your question.
Sometimes they can bracket the question, but they don't really understand what's being asked.
Uh-huh.
I mean, units are being asked and they answer in dollars.
That sound right? What is the question asking?
Yeah,
That sound okay?
and then they can rewrite that
Tell me
in
what
other
your,
words.
tell me what you,
If I can add the point number 2, circle numbers, necessary numbers, cross off unnecessary numbers.
Until they understand the question, they don't know which ones are necessary.
That's,
Because-
yeah,
Because sometimes there are numbers that you don't even need in the computation.
That's true.
that's
they
true.
throw them in just
So
to.
circle necessary numbers and cross off
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
all the trash.
there's so much I can do sometimes. But you have to identify the numbers.
Yes.
or what else? Anything else that we need to put? We can make it as short as possible. We don't have to make it big. Whatever y'all decide that.
Don't, I liked her bracket the question.
Bracket.
Somehow we gotta highlight it, not just know what the question's asking, because if you say that, they're not gonna do anything. I want them to do like,
Maybe highlight or bracket.
Bracket, bracket, because they don't have a highlighter.
Yeah.
So bracket.
I like Ms. Nichols, yeah.
And I'm gonna just put the bracket so they can understand.
Or parentheses around it.
Yeah, either one.
Would we require them to be able to say it in their own words?
Yeah.
That's up to y'all.
Yeah,
That's up to y'all.
I'm not sure I think it's necessary for math.
This is up to y'all. Y'all the experts in making sure that we get our kids on the right track. Anything else for this part?
Don't you
And
love
then
it?
what would be the second step? After they undo this part, reading and understanding the problem, what would be the second part? The second step?
Divide it with strategy.
Strategy, anybody?
Plan, think it,
Plan?
'cause
What is better for y'all?
Define strategy.
Plan.
Planning?
Plan.
Planning? So in that plan part,
Oh, wrong.
what are they gonna do in the planning stages?
See, plan, dude.
Like what strategy to use?
Choose strategy.
Yeah, use it based on keywords, what operations?
So the strategy?
What operations are you gonna use?
For the kids, when you say choose a strategy, I think they're not gonna know what you mean by that.
What do you want?
But operations are part of the strategy,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't put that as a separate key, I would put it part of the strategy.
So how would you?
What
what's that?
operation to use?
Just what operation you use?
Because that strategy it's just too abstract.
No, strategy means like they could draw it,
There you
I
go.
mean,
Draw
visual-
it, diagram it.
yeah.
Okay, can we put, how will you solve?
Because you're gonna have to write down the
How will
strategies,
you
give
solve
them
the
a,
problem?
How will
some
you
kind of a
solve?
template of what the strategy
What if we
is.
put, how will you solve the problem?
And yeah, that's good.
Or plan how to
Strategy,
solve.
it's an abstract word, and if you ask one of our kids today, right now, they're not gonna say anything when you say, what's your strategy?
Yeah, I think we
They
have,
don't know what you mean by that, and they're not gonna know what to answer.
but I think we
But
have
you
to
have to give
give
them
them,
this.
we have to give,
Give
we have
them
to
the-
make sure they understand what a strategy is.
Yeah.
So,
Like this one here. There's a lot of strategy.
so, tell me what to do. How would you solve, which is up? I think it has, to me, it has to be a consensus of what we have to do.
Draw a picture or a diagram.
Yeah, I always draw a picture because that's for, visual, the visual learner.
So almost saying, how are you solving it underneath, put strategy with the boxes, with the box of, that's it? I'm asking, I don't know. What do you think our kid's gonna be
How about
better?
if we put choose operations to use, draw a picture, a diagram?
No, that's not the solving part yet.
No, it's not the solving.
Yeah, that's not the
Well,
that's the
that's
solving part.
No, she's just saying the planning part. She just wants that's, what are you gonna do to plan, right? Like, what are you gonna use?
How will you solve, what operation, what tools are you gonna use?
Yeah, I like that. How will you solve? And then underneath it, put operations, diagrams, pictures, and give them the strategies.
Oh, so that's same thing Mr. Matt said, just give them the strategies at the same thing? So how will you solve? And we're gonna list the strategies at the end. We're gonna, how much time we have? All right, so we're gonna stop right there. We're gonna finish this Monday. And like I said, the main goal is so we can have one uniform method.
Are you gonna have a poster of this so you can put it
Yes.
on?
I have to look for.
That way I don't have
That's gonna be
copies.
next week.
You might
I don't have to draw it
That's gonna be
right
next
away?
week. When we finish, we're gonna make our posters ourselves.
Okay.
Okay?
That way I don't have to worry about writing it down again?
So again, remember the expectation that we're using the application problem every day in class. And from what Ms. Alapont talked to us Friday about, and like I said, this is gonna help us with that piece. The celebration of Mardi Gras, I went home this weekend and I brought back a king cake for us.
Oh,
Oh, I need my cookies.
so you're going back to.
No, I'm not, it's actually February the 7th, and I'm like, I can't go back.
That's his day.
So, we have king cake, and the person who gets the baby is supposed to buy next one.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go to New Orleans and buy this one. Okay.
Well, Whole Food has those too.